All right. Some of the changes that I've made in my garden is I've added another grapevine. Now I know if you remember, I did have one over there off that barrel. I took that up. This right here is the Red Reliance grapevine. It's hardy in my area. I'm also going to be taking this one over here up. That was my flame seedless grape. Now, just because the nursery tell you that it's hardy in your zone, don't believe it. Because I remember as if it was yesterday, the young lady telling me, "Oh, if we won't sell it if it won't grow here." It's not doing very well. So I'm replacing that one with the grapevine that I have over in my garden, over in my greenhouse, which I believe that one is a call from Fake Mel Negroni. So, other than that, I have a Kyoto grapevine over there as well that I probably start that one out in pots. But I've been trying to get some things done. Some of the figs in here. Some of the tips are starting to bud out a little bit. The temperatures has been up and down inside of here. You can see that one right there. Yep. Right there. That tip is coming in pretty nicely. So, all is not lost. Then over here, I took one of my peach trees. Remember the contender piece that I had in the black pot right there? Well, I finally put that in the ground. I got to do a little staking and some mulching. And these are my cherry trees. They're starting to bud a little bit. I have another one over there. So I haven't quite got the garden organized the way that I want it. But it's a work in progress. It'll be soon. I got some seeds starting on the inside. And since my neighbor dog want to keep barking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you inside and show you how I use the pea pods for my seeds and what I'm going to be growing from seeds. Okay, so here we are. This is the Jiffy germination greenhouse to germinate your seeds. Now, they say these are for, well, on here it says tomatoes, but we're going to see. I'm sure we could do other things in here as well. I've even known people to do cuttings in these. So this is what they initially look like right here. And once you pour the water in your tray here, they rise up just like dough to become just like this. So that's pretty cool. We're letting it absorb all this water because they're supposed to be about 2.5 inches tall once they are ready. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our seeds in. So get a good look. And we're going to come back and start dropping down our seeds. Okay, now these little seeds right here are tomato seeds. They're very small. This is Mortgage Lifters, and they're from Gurney's Nursery. And there they are, Mortgage Lifters. So what I want to do is I want to put 2 seeds per pod in here. like so. We'll just drop 2, and then once they germinate, we'll figure out which one is the strongest one. That's 1 in there. They're real tiny, but they don't have to go too deep. And we're going to write on here the day that we planted our seed. And we're going to take note, because I've started me a little journal on some of my gardening. We're going to take note on how long it actually takes for germination this way, because I have another way, that the paper towel method, to start them germinating quicker, but we're going to do it this way this time. So I'm going to continue down this one row, and then we're going to go on to the next seed. Okay, we're done with the tomatoes. Now these next 2 rows, we're going to do cabbage. And these is what the cabbage seeds look like. So basically, it's the same thing. I'm going to take 2 seeds per pot. Drop it in there. Figure out, once they germinate, which one is the strongest plant. And in about, in about a week, we're going to keep checking on them and keep these little pods moist. So I'm going to do these 2 rows. Now, I'm going to be growing these cabbages out of 5-gallon pails. I went on Facebook Market, and somebody had some 5-gallon buckets on sale for, I think he wanted like $1.50 a piece, and they had chicken broth in them. So they were food grade buckets, and it came with the lid, so you really couldn't beat that. And they were all white. So that's what I'm going to be putting my I think I bought 10 of them. So that's what I'm going to be putting my cabbage in, which be the white bucket. So I'm going to go ahead and do these 2 rows, and then when I'm going to come back and show you what. Now, before I go, one of the questions that people always ask, like, why do you plant so many seeds? Why do you put so many plants? Who needs 5 mortgage lifter plants? It's not so much that you need them, but you always want to have a backup. You never know what'll happen. A hailstorm can come and tear your plants up. A windstorm, you got some backups that's in your greenhouse or up under your grow light or just sitting around. So you always want to have a little bit more than what you need. And if it comes to a point where you do have a successful all 5 of your plants are successful, but you only need 1, you can always give away your other plants to someone else. Or, you could sell it, or whichever you feel. So with me, I know mine are not going to go to waste, because I have a brother that's a gardener. I have neighbors that's gardeners. And I don't think any of them have tried these mortgage lifters. And they're on the style of beefsteak. They supposed to be bigger though. So I'm gonna get these cabbage done. Hope I didn't lose where I left off at, and I'm gonna come back. Okay, so we have 2 rows of cabbage, and now we're going to go to the 4th row, which is here, and we're gonna do our Minnesota midget melons, which is this one. And these are 70 days to maturity. So I normally account once I take my transplant out and put it out in the garden. That's when I start counting down my days. I don't count it from the time that I drop my seeds. So we're gonna start these. I'm gonna do 2 rows of these. And these like warm temperatures. The soil level temp have to be up to 70. So we're gonna wind up getting a good head start. And by the time these all get up, we should be getting good temperatures here in Michigan. So these are what they look like. Just regular cantaloupe seeds. So we're going to take 2. And we're going to do the same thing. Drop them. Stick them down. And then cover them up. Again, I'm putting 2 per pot. And as they come out, I'm going to pick the strongest looking one. I don't pull them out. I snip them off so that it doesn't damage the other plant. Just like so. We got 2 more I'm going to put in. So, there we go. We have our mortgage lifter tomatoes, we have our cabbage, and we have our Minnesota midges. So, I'm also going to do my okra seeds, crimson spineless okra seeds, but I want these seeds to soak overnight, and that's going to it's the recommended tip on the back that we soak them overnight. This is also a hot weather plant, but I want to get a jump start on my starts, and by the time they get to growing good in these pods, then they'll be ready to transplant outside. So yeah, soak these overnight, and I'll probably do about a roll of these. So I'm gonna see what else I got, and I'll let you know. All right, so we got that together. Now we're gonna do our cucumber lemons, which will be this roll here, and these are what they look like. Now these seeds were given to me, and I think they came from like Lowe's, and they're cucumber lemons. And when people give me things, I like to, try to plant them. These were $1.99, and I like cucumber. I like lemon, so we're gonna see how that works. So, full sun, and there we go. And that's what they look like. They almost look similar to my seeds for the Minnesota midget. So it's the same thing. We're gonna take 2, drop them in, 2, drop them in, 2, drop them in. Oh, I dropped one on the side. I'm gonna press them down and cover them up. Now these say to go at least 1 inch deep, so we're gonna make sure that we get these down real good and cover them up with that soil. and repeat the process. Now, this is not all that I'm going to have. It's just today is rainy and I want to start my seeds. I got my heating mat, I got my heating lamps. I'm going to move some of my figs out of the way to make room because they're mature enough where I can sit them in the window or try to take some of them out to the greenhouse. So this is your backyard gardener letting everyone know it's time to start your seeds. If you haven't already started them, I'm running a little bit behind, so you probably should have started maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, but better late than never. Let's get growing and start being more self-sufficient and growing our own food, because here in Michigan, these restaurants, I'm telling you, y'all, if you watch our news, these restaurants, I think it's Michigan and Tennessee, have the highest rates of hepatitis in the restaurants. And if you go to a restaurant and one of those employees have hepatitis and they go to the doctor, they have to go back and report it to that restaurant that, one of their employees have hepatitis, and you got to go get a hepatitis shot. So I'm trying to really cut back on the restaurants and try to grow my own food, because we just coming to that time where we need to be more self-sufficient. Things are changing and we shouldn't be as wasteful as we are, because I think that, a lot of times we're very wasteful. We throw away a lot, and that's something that we need to get away from. And this is your backyard gardener. Thank all my new subscribers whose name is right here. And happy gardening, everybody.